Everything should be working. It says live in the corner there.
All right. Hello, hello, everyone. Brenda for Simplicity. Sorry, we are doing some new technology, as you can see. Yeah, it took us a while to get started. Um, this is how we're going to kind of go forward with our kind of lives so that we can stream not only to our Facebook page, but also to our YouTube page. All right. So if you're joining me, please put if you can comment. I think the comments will show on my end to make sure everything is a-okay. All right. Um, you guys are all my guinea pigs. This is the first time I'm using this. So fingers crossed, it is working. All right. So I see eyeballs on me. So that's a good thing. I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Um, so yeah, so if you're watching, leave a comment so I can just see that comments are coming. Um, and all destinations. Okay, so hello, hello, everyone. I am just going to check a few things on the other end here to make sure. Oh, I am. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hooray. All right. So lovely, lovely. It is working. Hooray. At least it's streaming to Facebook. So that's good. Okay. Oh, I see all the comments now. Hooray. Oh my gosh, this is good. I'm doing a happy dance. Woo. All right. Okay. Can you hear me okay? Yes. All right. Yes. All right. So you're all finding me. This is awesome. Okay. All right, like I said, we with the whole changes in Facebook and videos and keeping lives for only 30 days, we're kind of pushed in another direction in terms of how we're going to do our videos. We want to be on YouTube, so this is how we're going to be doing it. So I'm using a streaming service, which is new to me, and that's why I was late because it just wasn't working. I wasn't doing it right. Thank goodness Josh was home, and he helped me out. So this is streaming live on Facebook, and then it's also streaming live on YouTube, and therefore it will be on YouTube for the rewatch after 30 days. Okay, that's where we're going. So, all right. So tonight we're going to explore Elizabeth Crafts. I'm using an ultra wide camera lens on my camera, so you're going to see some mess on my desk here, but you're going to be able to see everything. So that's pretty cool. We're going to be working with Elizabeth Crafts. Like I said, we are going to do some flower making this evening. So I'm going to be using the brand new corn flower die. All right. So I'm going to be showing you some inking and shaping techniques. I've done this before, but it's always a lovely reminder on how to do these florals and such. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be working on different papers to create different looks with this floral. We're also going to explore this one here. And if you watched my happy hour today, I did say I was going to use this. Sorry, let me just get this flipped around here. And this was the brand new picture frames and mats from Annette Green from the Everyday Elements collection. I showed this today on happy hour. This is a jam-packed die. All right, jam-packed die. It's got all these little frames with different edges in different sizes. It's got little photo corners on there. It's got labels. It's got the little kind of little tape corners as well. So I'm going to be using that. All right. So I need to get a magnet for this to put on. And then I'm also going to be using this one. And now this one is kind of, I love this die. All right. And one of my customers, Glenna, shout out to Glenna. I know she couldn't watch tonight, but I know she's going to be watching on the rewatch. Said, what a jam packed die this is. Now, this is called Journal Sleeves Fillers #1. It is actually developed for the art journals and all that, and to fit in the passports and the squares and all that. But this is a great die for card making. And because there's a different layering elements on there, you got frames, you got stitched circles, you got little flourishes, and there's a whole lot of stuff on here, and it's a good bang for your buck. All right. So she asked if maybe I could use this to really kind of showcase it because she loves it. And she is a card maker, and she's been a card maker for like years on end, years and years and years and years. And she just really wanted me to use this tonight. So Glenna, I'm using it for you. Hopefully I will do it some justice, but it is a jam packed. As you can see, each of the little elements here has 3 mats, all right? And then, so you have your base mat, and then the other mats will have the indentations on there. Then you've got some frames in there, some flourishes. Like I said, really jam packed. So let's get started. I did a lot of prep work, guys, only because I didn't think you wanted me to be die cutting and inking on camera because it's just going to be boring for you. All right. Oh, there's Michelle. Yes, those, and she's telling you those journal sleeves are amazing, and that's coming from a one that will use it in her journals and such. But you know what? For that one, I'm bringing that back just because it is great for scrapbooking as well. All right. So you're going to have your photo mats. You can cut your photos down. I love these ones. These here, these little banners here are so there is like journal sleeves that have adhesive edges so that you can do flips and flaps in your journals. And this is to cover the adhesive edge. However, I think they're great for sentiments because they have a distressed edge as well. All right. So as a card maker, I'm loving that. All right. So there you go. You're getting it from everyone. It is a great die. All right. So it's called Journal Sleeves Fillers #1. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Let's do some basic oh, the other thing I'm using because I love it so much, is the new paper pad from or collection from Elizabeth Crafts, the Colorful Collective. This has got summer written all over it. All right, beautiful color combinations with the lime greens, the blues, a little red and yellow. It's just it's fabulous. So I'm going to be using that this evening as well because I couldn't resist. Okay, so let's start with some basic card making or basic floral making. All right. Now, what I've done is I like using the Elizabeth Crafts paper to die cut my florals from. All right. I really like that paper. It's called Soft Finish Cardstock. And it is beautiful. It is a nice white. It's not, I think this is 90 pounds. All right. So I've already die cut some of these here. There's kind of 2 finishes. There's one that's got a flat finish on the one side, and then the other side, I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up. It's almost like a stippled effect on there, right? It's like little tiny little dots, whatever. I don't know what it is, just fabulous cardstock to use, to ink and to create florals with. It is really, really stunning to use. And this is what I use for my florals all the time. All right. So what I've done is I just went and cut this morning a bunch of all these little corn flowers. What I love about Elizabeth Craft floral dies is how many sizes you get. So you can really make a whole lot of, big ones, medium sized ones, tiny ones. You can mix and match to give you a layered look. You can use big on top of big. You can use a medium on top of big. There are so many different ways that you can use these florals, and that's what I love. All right. In addition to that, you're going to get your floral centers. You're going to get leaves. You're going to get stems. It is Elizabeth Craft does it right. I'm just saying, when they do their dies, they fill up the area. All right. You are getting a lot of good value in the die sets. All right. So, anyways, back to what I did. I die cut lots of them and I started inking them because I didn't think you wanted to watch me ink. Just saying. I did leave a few blanks so I can show you the process of inking. Now I'm going to bring my camera down just a little bit, just to bring it down. All right. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I guess I shouldn't use the ultra wide angle because it's just showing way too much on my messy desk, and not getting it too close enough for you to see. So hopefully that's better. All right. So I left a couple of the larger florals here that I cut out of the soft finish cardstock, and I also found a couple small ones while I was digging through all my little die cuts here, so we're going to color them as well. So we're going to do these in blue, and I don't know why I chose blue. It's probably because the did blue flowers on the packaging. We are going to do yellow ones as well with this die, but we're going to do blue. So this is starting with white cardstock, the soft finish cardstock from Elizabeth Crafts, and we're going to go ahead and ink them. Now, I like to use a water-based ink when I do this. So Distress inks, the Simon Hurley inks, anything that's water-based. I don't like to use the oxide so much for my florals, especially I like to shape my florals and I use metal instruments, all right, some molding tools, styluses and all that. And the oxides react with the metal and they kind of give you a weird look. That's all I'm saying. So I like using my Distress ink. So okay, so for these ones here, I started with Uncharted Mariner. So I just like to use my finger daubers. You know, I love my finger daubers. All right, lots of nice. All right, it gives you control for this. Blending brushes are for bigger areas. When I want concentrated color on something as delicate as this, I love to use my my finger daubers. So I'm just going to pick up ink and then I just kind of go down the petal in little kind of stroking motions. You want to not go too heavy on the pressure. You don't want to play he loves me not on these petals, all right? And if you put too much pressure, you may rip them right off, which is not a big deal. You just glue them back on, but it's easier when they're all intact, all right? So all right. Yes, the spoon. That's the best paper shaping or flower shaping tool ever. All right. Um, I know like in the past, we've used the styluses and even the other tools that are in my little tool thing here. They're made for shaping, but I love using the spoon the best. Use what you got. We all got spoons at home, so we might as well use them, right? So oh my, I'm so excited that this streaming is working and I'm seeing comments and it is just a big sigh of relief. Now I just got to remember what I did to get on and we should be good to go. Okay, so I mean that was quick and simple. I'm going to do these little ones really easy, quickly. It's just adding a little color, and I don't care if the color is thorough on there. I don't mind if I have lighter spots or darker spots. If you look at floral in nature, they're going to have darker spots and lighter spots. All right. So now a lot of people will do fronts and backs. For time purposes, I am just inking the fronts. All right. I'm not too concerned about the backs, but I know there are people out there that like to do inking on the backs. I'm not one of them. All right. So all right, so there are my florals, but I want to add a little bit of shading in the center to make them a little bit darker. So I'm going to go into Chip Sapphire here. And then I have my finger dauber here. I'm going to pick up that ink. And now I'm just going to kind of concentrate that darker color in the center. All right. And just pulling it up a little bit on those petals. All right. Do you need to do the shading? No. And the whole reason I'm doing the shading is that the floral centers I did in this color. And I'm like, oh, there's a bit of a contrast. So to keep them kind of coordinated, I am just adding just a little bit of this color in the centers. All right. There we go. All right, done. All right, now let's get into the shaping. And I probably should have shaped these, some of these ahead of time, but I did not. And we're going to get the trusty spoon out. I'm going to show you with the stylus as well, but y'all have spoons. So I just think that makes it easier to do. So when I use a spoon, I use the tip of the spoon. Oh, look at the inky fingers. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. All right, I'm going to use the tip of the spoon. I'm just going to kind of go and add a little pressure to the back side of the florals. Did you see that? All right. I just add a little pressure and that paper just curls right up. All right. That's what makes it so easy when you use this. Now, if you're using regular white cardstock, depending on the weight of it, you might have to put a little bit more pressure, but that soft finish cardstock is just amazing. All right. So now we got this. It's just like a little curled up, I don't know. All right, I'm going to do that on this one here. And while I'm doing this, I want to get my glue gun on. Okay, I think that's on. I have this cordless glue gun, and I never know, it's never charged. That's the thing. It's always, it's got to be charged. And I charged it, but then I realized it was on. I don't know what's on and off on here. I don't know. I turn it on and there's lights that go on. There's red lights, there's green lights, and blue lights. And I have no idea what they all mean, but yes, Ruby, I can see your comments. So Ruby, you're watching us on YouTube, all right? So you'll probably only see the YouTube comments. And then anyone that is on Facebook, I can see your comments as well. So depending on which social media that you're watching me on, you may not see all the comments. Okay, so there's those ones. I'm going to go into the medium-sized ones. And it's really easy with a spoon. Do you remember? I don't know. I know a lot of you have made florals. All right. I see your names there and I know. Using a stylus, I don't know about you. I loved making florals, but it was hard with the stylus because you had to go round and round and add pressure. So let me just grab a stylus here. This is a large ball stylus. All right. And you would have to, you see, I really have to work on it to get it curled up. And I just don't find that it does a quick job like the spoon. All right. I like using the spoon. It's a lot easier. And I think it's a lot easier on our hands. So we're going back to the spoon. Going back to the spoon. All right. So those are large. That's a medium. All right. Exactly. Chantel says it is great to use things we already have. Yeah, we all have spoons at home. All right. Let's not reinvent the wheel, right? Let's use what we have. We like doing that. All right. I probably do not need to do any or all of these, but I am because I have 2 projects with the blue flowers I want to do. So see, here's one that was he loves me not, and it came right off, but I will use that as a base and then I will glue that back on. All right. Those are those ones. All right, and let's do these ones really quickly. All right, so I'm using a pretty sturdy mat here as well as a spongy mat. It is made for shaping and all that. I know these are kind of hard to find again. Like at one point they were like everywhere. And if you don't have one of these ones here, you just want something. If you had fun foam at home, I would put probably a couple layers of fun foam together, but get the denser fun foam. Don't go to the dollar store. Go to a big box store and get the denser fun foam, but you'll need like a couple layers to get that kind of sturdiness of it. We do have ones on order that are coming in from Hunky Dory, but they're not going to be here for maybe a few more weeks. So, but we will be having them in stock again, the molding mats. All right. So, okay. I don't know if my, oh yes, my glue gun is working. All right, so I'm just gonna flip my mat around because I have one for shaping, one for gluing. All right, so I'm gonna grab the large florals here, and now I cut 4 of the same shape, and we're gonna layer 4 together. All right, so I have my first one here. Now this is where I use my stylus. All right, so I'm going to grab that. All right, so I have my first one here, and I'm going to put just a little bit of glue. And I like using hot glue, and that's because it's instant. It's just an instant grab. And I'm going to offset those petals. All right, and then I'm going to use my stylus to kind of put some pressure in the middle to stick them down. All right, so there is that. I am going to do now another layer the same way right on that. All right. I could leave it as that, and it's a pretty floral just like it is, but I want to build this floral up. So I'm going to do 2 more. All right. And I offset. All right. Offset the petals. They don't have to be perfectly offset. And again, I'm using my stylus to push down in the middle. It's going to create kind of a well in the center to give it that dimension. Okay. And then we're going to do our last one. Again, I'm offsetting. I'm going to take my stylus and then add some pressure. And you can see that floral really just starting to form. All right, I'm going to bring that closer to the camera. All right, so there is that. Now, if I bring that closer to the camera, hopefully you can see the variations of color on there, all right? And that's just because I went darker in places, the shading and all that, and that makes just a beautiful floral, all right? All right, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Let's do the rest of them really, really quickly. All right, and again, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to put just a spot of glue in the center, offset these, and I'm not too worried if it's perfectly offset. All right, take my stylus, put some pressure. So when I'm making florals, I usually have, like, I do all my die cutting first, and then I do all my inking, and then I do all my gluing. So it's like a little assembly line. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love this die. I don't know about you, but cone flowers always just intrigued me because of the way they're like that. I don't know, when they're dried, they're just, I don't know, they're just, as a kid, I used to always love cone flowers. I would collect them. Whenever there was a bouquet that had them, I always had them. I just loved them. Okay, next one. Okay, so this is the one that's got the misfit petal. So I'm going to have one as my base. Oh, I got a glob of glue in there. Can I get that out? All right. And then I'm going to take my misfit one that's missing the petal. I'm going to stick that. And then I'm just going to take my other petal and just stick it in the excess glue there. It may not look pretty, but we're going to cover it. So all right, so we'll just offset that again. And last one. Okay, I think my glue gun now is like, I don't know, seems to be cooling down. Okay, so there is that size one. Oh, look how cute these are. All right, I have one. Look how cute. All right, and let's do this last one. So what I love about Elizabeth Craft Florals is that even though this is called the cone flower, you can use it in so many different ways. So this one here, I took the same size of each floral and layered 4 layers of the same size. All right. Did I have to do that? No. And when we go to another flower, I will kind of change it up a little bit. All right. So I'll use the same cone flower, but all right. But I will layer it differently. All right. So there are my 4. And then these little babies here, they really don't need too much shaping. If you wanted to, you can just use a stylus and kind of, you don't even have to rotate it. You just have to push it on the, like that main area of the petal, just to give it a little bit of curvature. You need to be delicate. These are small. All right. I'm not going to lie. They are small and you want to be delicate with them. All right. So let's just do, I got glue all over my stylus here. This is probably too big of a stylus even for the back of it. If you had a smaller stylus, it would go much easier. Let's grab my other stylus here. Okay, let's make a little baby guy now. I'm gonna get my tweezers in here now just to lay it down. So I don't know if I need 4. Oh, that was a lot of glue that I just put down on this one. I don't know if I need 4 for the little ones, but we'll see how that goes. I have lots. Ooh, I'm going to do 4 on this one only because I have an excess of glue there. All right. There's my little baby one. So cute. I will make more baby ones, but let's work on the middles of these guys. What brand are my peach scissors? These ones here. These are the Uniquely Creative Fussy Cutting Scissors. They look a lot like the Tim Holtz ones, but they're pretty. right? And pink. But I like these ones. I think because I have bigger hands, the openings here are wonderful. They're super sharp. Trust me on that. I've cut myself with them before trimming, but those are the uniquely creative. All right. All right, I'm just watching on comments because there's lots of comments tonight. So awesome, awesome. Okay, so those are my cone flowers, and then these are kind of the centers. All right, these are all part of the die, and again, these come in different sizes. So I have two for each of them. So that's the two for the large, two medium. And we're not going to do the little babies. The baby ones don't get these ones. Um, okay, so those are the 4 centers. And so for these ones here, before I'm just going to kind of take my stylus and put them right in the center and give it a little kind of turn. Those, as soon as I put that pressure in there, the little arms come up. So you don't have to do much for shaping these ones, which is kind of nice. I like quick and easy, but I still like the wow factor. So all right, so those are shaped, and now let's glue them in. So the large one here, we're going to put 2 of those little spider florals. I call them spider florals. Don't know if that's the right name for them, but all right, and we're just spot glue. You don't have to use a glue gun. Like I said, I like using the glue gun because it's an instant grab. And I don't have to wait for it to dry. All right, so there's the center for that one. And now we can stick this in. And shaping these little spider ones, these guys, I don't know why I'm calling them spider ones. I guess they have 8. Do they have 8? Yeah, they have 8 little legs on them, or petals. I like shaping them first because it just makes it easier to set it in the center, and then get my stylus in there. All right. Let me get these finished, and then I'll hold them up to the camera a little bit better. All right, one more. I think I did good on the color choices here. I really like those 2 blues together. All right, so here are my little cone flowers. All right, so there we go. Take a look. Super cute, right? I love them. Okay, let's do something with them now. All right, so I probably should make one more little flower here just because, well, let's do, you know what? I'm not going to shape the backs of them. I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm just going to push in the centers. I would normally shape these, but I really want to like do something with these now, right? It's fine and dandy that you can watch me make florals, but let's put them on a project. I don't know if Michelle's still on, but Michelle, you'd be very proud of me. I'm actually making an ATC tonight. All right, one little guy. Now, if you are an overgluer, you know who you are. Especially with the glue gun, it's really hard to get a little bit of glue for the smaller ones. So then use a white glue and just put a little dab and just let them sit before you start putting them on your project. All right, last one, guys. All right, there we go. We got our little cone flowers. Look how cute they are. All right. Now. Okay, so let's put something together here. Let's use these on a card front. So, like I said, I have the new paper from the Colorful Collective. All right, that just came in. This is one of them. I love this wood grain paper. It's yellow. It's yellow. Isn't it gorgeous? All right. So I've cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, so I can still put it on a card base. All right. And then I use the picture frames die. This one here, some of the components from here. Sorry, really need to put this on a magnet. All right. So the picture frames and mats. So I use the bigger frame. I cut it out of craft paper. Then I have a yellow insert. And then I did some photo corners as well. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. So first I'm going to take my frame and glue this on. I just love these. For card makers, I think this is going to be a really great die, just because of all the different elements on there. But I think if you're also a scrapbooker, I mean, this is just perfect for, frames for pictures. And let's put this on straight. Oh my goodness. Maybe my wood grain is not straight. Maybe that's it. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, this guy here, I'm going to pop up. All right, so I'm going to do the center. I'm going to pop up. I have these Misfit. I don't know where these came from. I don't normally have circle. I don't like circle pop dots. Uh, nothing against circles, but I don't know where those are coming from. They must have came in a kit of some kind from. Anyways, we're using them. I like my square ones. Yeah, these are not as thick as my square ones either, but all right. So we're just going to put that, and we're just giving that just a little bit of height. All right, a little bit of dimension on there. I will probably go around with some brown ink around the edges, but I don't have my brown ink here, so I'm not going to worry about it now. I've got these cute little photo corners, and they are part of that die as well. So I'm going to put them on the edge of my little yellow mat here. Oh, Michelle is here. Michelle, I'm making an ATC tonight. Not this one, but my next project. All right. Again, these little photo corners, they come in two sizes. This is a larger size, and then there's a smaller one that will do smaller ones, especially, and they will work nicely with the smaller frames. Yes, definitely. Oh my gosh, yes, that would be great for shakers as well. So many different things that you can do with this picture frame die. I think it's just a strong die. All right, so how cute is that? There's my little base. All right, so there's that. And now I'm going to use the bigger florals on here, and I love the yellow and blue together. I just think that is just beautiful. All right, so let's do. And I'm going to use hot glue to stick these down, so this way I don't have to wait. And I just put it in the center. All right. Again, I'm going to go back to my stylus to put that pressure in the center for that glue to grab. All right. So that's on. And let's layer them on. Okay. So, oh, that's lovely. All right. So there's that. I also die cut some of the little leaves here. So I'm going to grab. We're going to use 2 of these little guys here. Let's just stick them down. Okay, now we're going to stick the leaves. So I always just put the glue in the center of the florals, and then I'm able to take the leaves. Now I'm going to do the shaping of the leaves, and again I'm going to use my spoon. All right, and oops, oh, that really curled it. I went the wrong way. I went from the base to the top, but that's okay. All right, so you can curl it. You can curl it the other way as well. You can go from the top side, and this is what you mean if you want to color the back side, because sometimes it's there. You'll see the backing of it, and then you see the white, but okay. So let me just kind of shape a couple of these here, and then we're going to stick them in, and we'll get on to the next little project. All right, using the same florals. like I said, I got lots always planned for these evenings. So, all right, these ones here, I can use the white glue. So now I'm just going to kind of insert. Oh, Becca Ann says she needs a smaller spoon. So I have a funny story. For anyone that knows me really well, I love ice cream. I love ice cream. I could eat ice cream every day. Love, love, love it. So when I'm on vacation, I probably have ice cream every day. And so when we were in Jamaica, every time we would have lunch, I would have an ice cream for dessert. Um, and they had the hugest spoons. Like to me, when I have a bowl of ice cream, I use a little spoon like this. But they had spoons, and no kidding, they were like soup spoons, but like almost serving spoons. I'm like, this is ridiculous, right? But I just thought maybe it was a mistake the one day, but no, every day they had these huge like serving spoons. And I'm not saying there was just one there and I made a mistake that it was the spoon for the ice cream. No, every day they had a whole pile of them with the ice cream, and that's what you used. It was ridiculous, but that's my funny story. All right. Okay, I could probably go on and on. I'm going to put these are the little buds here. And you can use these in different ways. On the packaging, they used them kind of as they folded a petal or a flower in half and then used it behind it to create a bud. I am just going to use them as just a green bud in the background. I'm not going to shape them. I'm just going to insert them just for a little bit of green in the background, a little bit of texture. And let's put a little small one in there now. And then I think this one will be done. Now for the centers of these ones here, I could put little pearls in there. I got excess glue in there, but I think I'm okay with the way it looks. All right, so there is that. Look how cute that is, right? Super sweet. I'll get this mounted onto a card base, and then that one is done. All right, so there's our first little project there. So there is that. All right, so there's that. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side. Let's use these excess ones on a little ATC now. Okay, so for those that don't know, ATCs are artist trading cards. It is like a huge thing. Everyone loves it. We have an ATC club. I think we have about 30 people in the club. I do need brown ink because I need brown ink on here, which is kind of cool. I think I did the first time. I did the first one, and that was it because it's a time commitment. I just have to grab brown ink. Doo-doo. All right. So this is all from the paper Colorful Collective. All right. There is one that's got these kind of 3x4s, and when you trim them down, they become the size of an ATC, which is 2.5 by 3.5. All right. So I took the one that's got kind of the cone flower on there, cornflower, I mean. And so I am just going to kind of ink the edges really quickly, just with a little bit of brown ink. Okay, so artist trading cards, people trade them. They're kind of cool. Like for our artist trading club, we have a theme every month, and then the participants have to create 3 ATCs based on that theme, and then they bring in 3, and then they get 3 back, 3 different ones, and they just swap with other people, and it's just super fun. I used to do it back in the day. I have a whole binder. It is just beautiful to look at all the different, you know, ways people interpret the theme, the way they create. Everyone has their own style. It is super fun, super fun. Okay, so I have that. And again, I used this one here, and I used some of the different elements to give me my mats. All right, so this one here, this one's with the wood grain. I'm going to just kind of put it at an angle. And then this one here was a smaller one from that same die set out of the paper. And we're going to just kind of angle that one on there as well. Okay, and now let's put our little florals on there. All right, so let's just build a little cluster. Yep, all right, and I'm going to glue these down with the hot glue again. And we'll insert some little leaves in there, and then this one will be done. And then we're going to move on to the next way of using that floral. And I used vellum. You know, it's still somewhat, well, it's turning dark now, I guess. But the birds out there are just going crazy. You know, like spring is on its way. I can hear them through the window. Just fabulous. Okay, yeah, it was 4 years ago. Yeah, but I did it. And look, I have one. What's the theme this month? I don't think it's florals or anything. I would love to be able to. I just don't have enough time. All right, let's get some leaves in here. That's right. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Thanks. Only 99 more to go, as Michelle said. Michelle and I are going to the Elizabeth Crafts design retreat in Banff this year. We're treating ourselves, and they all do ATCs, and there's 100 participants that go to this. And so everyone's got to like make ATC. Well, they don't have to, but everyone seems to be making ATCs. So we've got to make 100. So after this one, I only have to do 99 more. I don't think I'm doing them all with florals. That would be a lot of work. Just saying. Okay. So, well, maybe we should put one of these little green buds in. Okay. My little ATC is, I'm going to put a little word or something on there, but how cute is that? All right. Number 2 project done. So sweet. Okay, so that was using the Elizabeth Crafts soft finish cardstock, using ink, and then layering those florals together. All right, so let's move on now to vellum. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I have these are the little tape die cuts from that same die set, the frames, and I was going to use them on a couple of corners here. So let me just do that because I had them trimmed out. Guess we're going to do all 4 corners because I have 4 of them. Okay, now that is officially done. All right, so there we go, the little taped corners, super cute. All right, so I'm going to put that to the side. And now we're going to move on to vellum. All right, so I saw a sample from Elizabeth Craft using vellum with this die, and I thought, oh, how cool is that? So I did the same thing. I die cut a bunch of these, and then I just used broken china, but I used the ink on the back side of it. All right. So for this here, we're going to change up, I think, how I'm going to do these florals. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to shape these ones. All right. I'm just going to layer them on together. And I think I'm going to do, so no shaping. And what do I got here? I'm going to do 2 big and then 2 medium in there. So I'm going to layer, but now we're going to switch up the sizing. All right. Just to show you, you can get different looks with these flowers. All right. So that, and then we'll do a little small one. All right. So this one here, no shaping. I'm just going to glue them together. So 2 of the same size, and then I went 1 size down and did 2 of the same size as well. Now I am going to use hot glue for this. And I'm still going to use my stylus. All right. So I am offsetting them, and then I'm going to use my stylus and kind of push in the middle. So the arms are still going to go up. We're going to create a totally different looking floral now. But I think vellum is one of those things we always forget about. Yes, you can die cut vellum. Yes, you can ink vellum. I usually ink the back side, so then it's a very soft finish. And again, I use the Distress inks, and they dry fairly quickly on there. All right, so there is the floral there. All right, so this has got no shaping on there. All right, so there's one. Okay, that one has way too much glue. Went a little crazy on that one. And I probably should have had these cupped already. It's just going to make it easier. Let me just cup this one first. All right, 2 flowers. See, when you don't shape them, they go together really quickly. All right, and then I'm going to make a little baby one here, and then I'm just going to use 4 of the baby ones to make one floral. Or maybe just 3, because that's all I grabbed. We will behave, Chantel. We always behave. It will be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to Banff in like probably over 25 years. One of my favorite places in the whole wide world. So it should be lots of fun. Okay, there are my 3 florals. Just a nice different look with the colored vellum. And let's create a card with these ones now. All right. So again, I'm going back to using those that the dies from the you think I would remember this, the picture frames and mats. All right, so my first card, I use this one here, and then the ATCs, I use some of the layering rectangles. For this one here, I'm using these kind of lovely label ones. All right, so you know me, I love my white and white. So I have my card panel, and then I cut a piece of vellum. So we're going to glue the vellum, and I just like doing that in the middle. All right, to there. So my card base or panel is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. My vellum then is 4 by 5 1/4. Then I cut another piece of white cardstock and I embossed it. All right, so this one is 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to layer on here. So we can see a lot of white on tone here. And I seem to have lost my tape runner. All right, glue it is. Usually with an embossed panel, I prefer having an adhesive runner, but I don't know where it is. It's not where it should be. All right, so this is going to, and I probably should have done this one first because I have all inky fingers here. So let's hope my white does not get blue on it. All right, so pretty as it is. All right, but here are the 2 labels. All right, so I got the larger one out of kind of a soft blue, and then the smaller one, which we're going to layer on top out of the white. All right, so let's layer these together. All right, so lovely. All right, and then I'm going to pop this one up on the front here, and I might put it to the side. We're going to put our florals here, and that's going to give me some area to put a sentiment to the right-hand side. So, where are my foam squares? I had them, or foam circles. Yeah, I'm not loving these circle ones, but we'll use them because they're here. All right, so I'm going to offset this to the left, but I am going to center it left to right, center it from top to bottom. All right, so there is that. And now let's go ahead and put these lovely florals. I'm going to use my glue gun again. And now these ones, I think I'm going to put pearls in the center. I think that would be nice with something like this, very elegant. All right. All right, so there are my florals on there. All right, but it's a nice look with the vellum, a softer finish on them compared to the other ones. Let me just pull the other ones. All right, so you can see a completely different look with them. Let's see if I have some lovely pearls to put in the center. What are these ones here? Oh, let's put these like lovely iridescent ones. What are these ones? Iridescent. All right, let's do those ones. I love the Pink Fresh gems just because you have, I think there's 4 different sizes, 3 sizes for sure, but you get those extra large ones that work for the large florals really nicely. And then you get also the tiny ones. So. Oh, these are pretty in there. All right, so there's that one. I don't know if I want there's 4 sizes in here. I didn't know what size, that one's too big. I knew that one. Now it's stuck in there. It's glued already. All right, that one's too big. I knew to go to size down. I debated. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so there's that. I will add a sentiment on there, but how cute is that? All right, with the vellum, it's really, really pretty. So if you have floral dies like these Elizabeth Craft ones, try it with vellum. All right, so there is that one. All right, I'll finish that one with a sentiment, but let's move on to our final way of using the dies. And that is just cutting it right out of cardstock. All right. So the first one we cut out of white cardstock and then inked it. This one, this next one I'm going to do is I cut it out of yellow cardstock. So I have the Tuscan. This is the new Spellbinders color. So I cut it out kind of this deep yellow. And I cut the leaves out of green. So let's just get these out. So they have another shape in there, this floral here, this kind of like little star floral. I don't know. You can make your own florals with it. You can layer it on. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but let's see what we can create with them as well. All right. So, all right, let's make, I'm going to shape these ones. So you're going to have to watch me shape. All right. So any questions while I'm shaping here? I'm shaping on my gluey side. That's not good. Already committed, so I'm just going to keep on going. I think these ones I'm going to do the same. I only have, no, I have 4. I'm going to do the same as our first ones. I like the look of that fuller flower. It is a little bit thicker on your card, but I do that. Now, if you have problems shaping these, this cardstock is shaping really, really nicely. But if you had problems, you could definitely miss the back side of your cardstock. But this shaped really, really nicely. So all right, so, and again, I'm going to use my glue gun just to glue these together. Again, I'm going to offset the petals. And then for this one here, just to make it a little bit more special, I am going to spray these with a mica spray once they're finished. All right. So, and just to show you how you can just switch up the look of them again, just with a little spritz. Okay. So there is that. And let's put, I'm going to put one of these. I don't know. I'm just going to build flowers now, guys. I'm just going to kind of mix them up. So I have one of the spider petals in there, and then I'm going to take one of the smaller ones and put that in the center. So we're definitely changing this up a little bit. Oh, so there's, that one's cute. All right, let's do the next one. And then for the card base for this one, I'm going to use that other jam-packed die, the journal filler ones, and show you, you know, how to incorporate and just layer together to make a really quick card base. All right, so you just have to watch me shape now, everyone. I need a new mat. My mat here is like kind of crumbling. This mat's probably at least 20 years old, but it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's just, you know, starting to, I say dry out, but I don't even know if that's possible, but it's starting to crumble, which I don't think is a good thing. I got little black specks everywhere from the mat. Okay, so this one here, I'm going to put one of these centers in. And then we will do one of these. All right, so there is, that was a cute little flower. I like this one. All right, and then this one here, I think to do a small one, I'm just going to layer 4 together. Or maybe 3, then I can create just a, yeah, I'm going to do 3 only because I have 6 of these little florals. Might as well use them all, right? Okay, and then let's build a card with this. Now, before I build the card, I am going to spritz these with a mica spray. All right, so there's one little guy. Oh, that one did not offset so well. I'm rushing, that's why. Okay, glue everywhere. All right, so there are my little florals. We'll use these little buds as well. I did them in yellow this time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a, what am I going to grab? I'm going to grab a towel. I'm going to place these on there. And I am going to use a Distress Spritz. All right. So here's the Distress Spritz. This is fossilized amber. So these are mica sprays that match the Distress family. All right. So Tim started coming out with these ones. I don't know. I don't think he's coming out with any more because he's kind of like done designing and creating new products. He just wants to play with his stuff. So I don't know. But this is fossilized amber. So I'm going to give this a good shake, and then I'm going to spritz this to give them a little sparkle and shine. So when you spray the or shake these, again, you want to shake them back and forth. Don't go up and down. You don't want to push that mica into the nozzle, and then you get a clog because then you'll be sad. So you always want to make sure that you shake it side to side. But sometimes it's a pain in the butt because that mic is really kind of at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to give these a little spritz. The more you spritz, the more shimmery they are going to be. All right, so I just gave them a good few spritzes. I'm going to hold this one up just so you can see. I don't know. Okay, hopefully the camera can show you. I know I'm getting shadowy, but they are super sparkly. So I'm going to move them to the side, and let's put our card base together. All right, I'm going to shut this down. Okay, so I've done pre-cutting already. All right, so I'm going to bring that die back out. So the journal sleeves filler number 1 is what I'm using here. And I used these components right here in this bottom left-hand corner. So I used the outside square, the 2 inside mats, the stitch circle, this flourish, and then I also used this flourish. All right, so that's what I've done. This is going to make a square card. I will probably mount this onto a 5x5 card. So, and again, I use the pattern papers from that new collection. All right. So there's the outside, then the first mat, the second mat, the stitch circle, and then I cut the 2 flourishes out of gold, a matte gold mirror. And then I used one of these ones, and I'm going to be stamping a sentiment on there once I find a sentiment that's going to fit on there. All right. I apologize. I was trying to do that, but I had so much going on when I got home from work. Poor Josh, it was like 5 to 7 as I'm trying to set up. I'm like, listen, your pasta's on the stove. The sauce is there. You've got to plate it. He's quite capable of doing that. I know he's 23 years old, but anyways, he was fed. All right. So I'm just inking the edges with a little bit of brown ink on all the components. All right, one more, and then let's put this card together. I'm going a little bit, normally I try to keep my videos down to an hour, but we had a little bit of techie problems there. So, you know, we still got a little bit of time here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mat the, look at, just beautiful. Love how these will all work together. Glenna, you were right. This is a pretty fabulous die. All right, so again, this will be great for card makers, journalers, for art journals, the little passport journals, even layouts. All right. I mean, put a little square picture on there. Beautiful. I really like this paper pack too. I love the colors in it. All right, so there is my card kind of base. All right. Then I'm going to take my circle here and I'm going to pop it up. Now I am going to bring the pop or the foam adhesives closer to the center because I like to tuck things in, and that's where those flourishes are going to come in. All right, so I tucked those foam to the center and I'm going to center this in. All right, so there is basically my card front. Okay. All right, now are my florals dry? I am going to zap them with a heat tool, I think. All right, so let me just bring them back. Sorry, my cord for my heat tool was kind of stuck on my printer. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm just going to zap these with the heat tool because I did do a couple spritzes of them, so they're still a little wet. So okay, those are dry now. And I'm going to bring this one up to the camera. Like there's shimmer on there is beautiful. If you do not have any type of mica sprays, these are just fabulous. These are distress spritzes. And so they're just fun. Okay, so let's create a little cluster in the center here. And I'm just going to use my white glue here because I turned off my glue gun. So these are going to take a little bit longer to like dry on there because the glue is going to take a little bit longer. Yeah, see that's what, see if when you have the glue gun, then these don't move when you put the other ones in. So that's why I like using the glue gun. So I just got to like let it sit and commit to it and stop playing around with it is what I have to do. All right, so stop playing around with it now, Brenda. All right, so there is my little cluster. This one is not stuck down. All right. How cute is that, right? All right, and then I'm going to take my leaves now. And these ones here, I'm not going to shape. I'm just going to use my tweezers and kind of just curl the ends like I was curling ribbon. And then I'm just going to kind of stick them in. Now, if you find that these are a little too long, then just rip the bases of them, all right? So I'll show you what I mean. No one's going to see you ripped. So I'm just going to curl the top using my tweezers. And then I'm just going to rip the base of it off so they're not so long. And just slip it underneath your florals and no one's going to know that you ripped the ends off. All right, and then to finish this card off, I am going to, I'm going to need one more little leaf in there. I'm going to use those little flourishes. All right, so there's my little flower. I think I'm going to put little gold pearls in there as well. And then these little flourishes here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them, and that's why I didn't want the pop dots or foam adhesive, because I'm just going to tuck these underneath, but I'm going to have those kind of flourishes kind of curl up onto that layer, that layered or circle. All right, so something like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the end here. I'm going to slip it underneath and then just let those kind of like just twist it so that those flourishes then kind of loop on to that stitch circle. All right. And then we'll do the one on the top here. Again, we'll do the same thing. All right. And then I'm going to add some pearls on there, and then that one is complete. All right. So there are my little cards using the cone flower as well as the journal sleeve fillers #1 die, as well as the picture frames and mats die. And again, I'm going to just show you there's the corn flower. So I'm going to finish these off camera. I'm going to put little pearls on there and just maybe put some sentiments on there. But there are flower making, yay, with Elizabeth Crafts. And we'll post these samples tomorrow morning on there. So there is that, everyone. Lovely florals. I love them. They're so, so pretty. That cornflower is just amazing. I really, really like it. So thanks everyone for joining me this evening on What's Up Wednesday featuring Elizabeth Craft Design Products. And thanks for bearing with me as we were a little late getting started with a new technology. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next time I will make sure the view is not so wide so that you can get a little bit closer up, but it's a learning process for me. So that's it for me, everyone, tonight. Thank you so much.